Hey guys, Martin here from Awaken Realms, and today I would like to show you what have we done with the gameplay mechanic from the edge. I know that most of you just baked our Kickstarter for the resin models, and that's cool. We've devoted a lot of effort into making really nice and really beautiful, but we also wanted to make a great game. A game that we would love to play ourselves. A game that is not only war game, but something more, something fresh, and I believe that we did succeeded in delivering that. We made a game that is a little bit different from the first idea. The crystals are still here, but we actually added way more than we initially planned, and we would like to share with you our work right now. First thing we'll do is set up crystals. We will be setting crystals by players, so that every game will be a little bit different regarding the terrain, as well as later on we'll also implement a special story based campaigns when the crystal setup will be predefined. So as you can see, you have like 3 crystals in the middle of the board, so this will be the basic scenario. So the 3 crystals are in the middle of the board, and then both players have 3 crystal pools, 2 crystals, 1 crystal and 1 crystals, the same for the demo player. The colors of the crystals are unimportant. You can actually, there's no difference, we just painted them like that so that they will look okay. Right, and the only rule of crystals is you need to set up at least 6 inches away from another crystal. So you can place it anywhere on the board, but 6 inches from any other crystals. And there will be, of course, a roll dice, so each player will roll a dice. The highest score will start setting the crystals. He can choose one of its pools and play it anywhere on the board. So let's say that the chapter player won, and the chapter player will start. So he will choose the pool of 2 crystals. And let's say I will say that this is a cool place to place the crystals. So later on, it will be a fun mechanic to play around here. Let me see if it is 6 inches away. Yeah, no problem. Okay. So now the demon player will place one of the crystal pools, and let's say the demon player will say, "All right, I'll place it here on crystal." Okay. Then the chapter player. And the chapter player will say, okay, here. Yep, actually 6 inches. Then the demon player will set up his 2 crystals, for example here. And the chapter player his last crystal, like let's say here. And the demon player here. Thanks to this mechanics, you can actually every time create a little bit different board. Here are all the elements that the players will have. So 6 squad cards, 40 spell cards, 10 progress cards, 4 crystals, this is your starting mana pool, and 7 victory tokens. On every card you can see tokens as well. Those are health points tokens. So basically you need to take 2 of them, then add 1 more hit, and this unit will be dead. Now we will be setting up units. We wanted to make a game that will start turn fast. So instead of setting up here and here, we wanted to make a setup more complicated, both in strategic way, where you want to place your shooting units, where you want to place your strongest units, and also more complicated in way that turn 1 everyone will start to fight, and you'll actually start to playing turn 1, not like getting to each other for 20 minutes. This way, so basically you can set up the whole board. It doesn't matter if you're a chapter player or a demon player. You can set up everywhere, but there are 2 basic rules for setup. First, you need to be at least 3 inches away from any crystal. Second, you need to be at least 3 inches away from the enemy unit. You are setting up squad after squad until all players have no more squads to deploy. So basically there is an initiative roll and the highest score win, and after that you are deciding where to place your unit. It is very important because this position will be very important later on when you will be wanting to gather crystals or contest them. So let's say that the demon player started and he wants to play his Son of Kaiba here in the middle of the board, just to pose a big threat to the other. And then the chapter player choose, and the chapter player, for example, choose to place his Pilgrim squad here as a counter, 3 inches from the crystal. When you deploy a squad made out of a few models, they need to deploy base to base, but later on they can split and go whatever they want, though one squad can gather only 1 crystal at the end of turn. So as you can see, the deployment can be very tricky when it comes to the strategy point, because you don't know what cards do you have on your hands, you don't know where are your opponents planning to deploy, and it gets a little bit like chess when every model is a threat that you try to neutralize with your another model. This way it is very strategic, very complicated, and thanks to that mechanic we can actually start playing turn 1 and everyone is fighting turn 1. So yeah, I have done the setup, and now a little bit about the progress cards. This is something we did not plan, but we thought it is really cool, and yeah, and it really brings a lot of diversity and replayability to the gameplay. Those are progress cards. Chapter and the demon player have 10 of them, and at the beginning of each turn you can choose one of the upgrade card, and thanks to the upgrade card you can make one of your unit, one of your squad really stronger on the beginning of the turn for free, and it stays throughout the whole game. So this means that you can see the board, how it is set up, and then thought like, for example, okay, I need this brute to be really strong because it will be engaged in a lot of combats here, so I will take a progress card for the brute. There are a lot of cool abilities. We wanted to make every progress card, every spell cards very dynamic, very characteristic for every unit. So for example, the brute card have the progress cards that says that if he will be able to kill the unit, he'll actually refresh and get an extra turn. Now let's talk a little bit about your starting crystal pool and the spell cards. So your crystal pool refreshes after every turn, so you can use the crystals, and then after all the units are activated you just bring them back and they are yours, plus the crystals on the board. Once you will gather the crystal, it will never go back to the pool, it will never go back to the board. It is always here in your mana pool. As for the spell crystals, you have chapter and demon players have 40 of them, and as you can see there are a lot of different elements. As I said before, we wanted them to make the gameplay really special and really dynamic, and it makes sense. It is like a lot of powerful spells are here, so you need to collect crystals to be able to pay for them, because if you will not play with them, your opponent will most likely win with you because he have more mana. So this way the situation on the board is really complicated. You need to think how to get to the crystals and how to get your enemy out of the crystals. Okay, so a little bit about the cards. This is a prototype yet, they will look better. But here you have a mana cost, 1 crystal. Here is the spell type. This is actually instant, so I can cast it everywhere, every time, so even my opponent's turn. This is the unit this card can be cast. They are also universal ones, and some of the cards have the until the end of the game or until end of turn time horizon, which means that I can play this card right now and it will last until the end of the game. So as I said, there are like a lot of cool game-changing spells that will make a lot of difference. For example, you can make the time stop and play 2 turns, or you can kill someone with a Judgment Day, or bring your Angel of Death next to your other unit. A lot of fun spells we wanted to put into the game. Your units are represented by unit cards. Here we can see a card for the Angel of Death. There are 4 very easy and simple statistics: Initiative, Attack, Defense, and Move. Initiative is basically who will start first. There's no role for initiative, it is just a modifier. Attacking player will start first if there is a tie in initiative skill. Attack is roll k6 plus the modifier on the card. Defense is just the same. Plus you can have a reroll, which means that you can decide to reroll the dice. And the movement is in inches. What you can also see are the skills that every unit have on its card, and it can also be flipped, and you have a different statistics and different skills, though this lasts only until end of turn. So basically you have a lot of strategy, a lot of possibilities to play, a lot of strategies you want to test out, because there's depth not only because of the progress cards, not only spell cards, but also unit cards that have 2 sides, so like a lot of replayability possible. Combat works pretty easy. We wanted to make a simple combat, but make it way more complicated because of cards. What we have created is a system where the combat is really about 2 rolls, so you don't need some tables, you don't need to look a lot of rules. It is very simple combat, but you can always place an instant spell or some equipment which will just change a lot. Let's say that I want to move the Angel of Death and attack the Brute Warrior, and I will be in flight mode, so I have 12 inches of range. I will place my unit here. So every activation of my unit I have a move and attack. I can also play it in the different way, so I can first attack then move, but I cannot move a little then attack and then just move a little away. Okay, so right now I moved to the Angel of Death, so we have like a showdown, and I decide to attack the Brute. So basically both initiative of Angel of Death and Brute is 2, so the attacking player starts, which means the Angel of Death will start. The Angel of Death modifier to attack is +2, the Brute's to defense is +2 as well. So the chapter player will roll, it has 5, +2 it is 7. The Brute player will now roll, and it is 2, +2 it is 4. This way chapter player add 1 wound to the Brute, and the Brute cannot counter attack. If the Angel of Death would if the Angel of Death would not hit the Brute, then the Brute can counter-attack, only then. Players are playing activation after activation, so once I have activated Angel of Death, then the Demon player chooses one of his own squads, represented by cards, and choose to activate, for example, Terror Cultists and move them near crystals to gather up them later. Players can choose what squad they want to activate, but they can activate it only once. So after all the players have activated all their squads, this is the end of turn, and there will be gathering crystal phase and refreshing phase, and then we begin a new turn. So basically the gathering crystal phase works like this: if you are alone in base-to-base contact near the crystal base, you can take a crystal, but if there will be an enemy next to it contesting it, no one gets the crystal. So if you're alone, you get the crystal. If there's your enemy near there, there's also a crystal, which makes a lot of difference regarding the skills, because we wanted to make a game that is like really about the cool special instant spells. So for example, the Holy Knight have the skill, the spell actually in the deck that is really cheap and it really changed a lot, because for example he can jump 10 inches here and then bash with the shield away this squad. So this way, spending only 1 mana, you can jump here, gather those crystals and push out your enemy out of them. It makes like there's like a lot of spells like that in both sides. For example, the Son of Kyber has the Battle Taunt, one of my favorite spells, which makes everyone in the 3 inches away attack him, move to him and attack him. So this way he's taking away not only them from crystals but also provoking battle, because you know, like, he's a big demon, he loves to battle. And also he has another mechanics on his card, which makes him more powerful the more wounds he have. So yeah, he just want to fight. Yeah. Right, guys, thanks for watching. This is just a sample of the gameplay. Obviously there's a lot of more depth to it and rules. I will be publishing it soon, but I just wanted to show you a direction that we chosen to go, how the game feels, and more or less how to what have we done with the first concept. So yeah, I would like to invite you to comment, to share your feedback. We still can do a little changes here and there if you say so. Yeah, why not? And also invite you on our new website when you can find a forum, and then you can also comment and try to, you know, like, share with us your opinion. We will really appreciate it.